You're twin.
You're not my level.
Brother.
You're not my level.
Brother, I find you, brother. In Yativya Parvu, madru. Bayushki, 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 bayu. Ah, Hasbulla, Spokojna noć. Hasbulla. Mike.
Michael Jackson.
It's Mike Tyson. Hasbulla. Send me location.
The location, Cejudo. You're at my level.
Triple C, you speak Russian.
Да, хорошо. Женди Cejudo, олимпийский чемпион. Двойной UFC чемпион. Я тебя Hasbulla, я тебя порву. Anyways, what I said is Hasbulla is all talk. He's talking to the Olympic champ, the Triple C. Anyways, but now, Schmo, as you can notice, I don't got my crown on no more. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm trying to be humble Henry. Because now I'm trying to be somebody that everybody wants me to be. And to be myself. But I don't know. I don't know how long I can take it without the cringe, Schmo.
Well, humble Henry, we will take the show from the top and we'll do the best we can. Because listen, you did the Instagram live with Hasbulla, but was this the same day you had Mighty Mouse, the former enemy, the man you took the flyweight belt from, inside the kingdom of cringe? You were sitting down next to him on the couch. True. Same day.
So you're still going to call it the House of Cringe after everything that I said, Schmo. Thank you, dude. Anyways, so Demetrious we ended up talking over text. We ended up, we just started chit-chatting, man. Actually, Will Harris kind of connected us. You know, shout out to Will Harris, man, from
shout out to
Anatomy
Will
of a
Harris,
Fighter,
Anatomy of
man.
the Fighter.
Doing some big things. So he connected us and he says, hey, he called me. He's like, hey, somebody wants to kind of chat with you. And just like, guess. And I give them every name under the sun but Demetrious Johnson. And that's what it happened to be. And he chit chatted, man. And he, maybe get together and train a little bit with DJ, exchange knowledge in that sense. So I thought it was super, super cool, man, for first of all, him and his wife to come over to the house. And it was a treat, man.
Were they just vacationing in Arizona and, Will Harris was the connector?
Yeah, no, they have a vacation home actually out here, man, which is surprising. So, out here it gets pretty hot over the summer, but he's gonna be spending some time in Arizona. He just, he's like, Henry, let's help each other, and I'm all about it, Schmo. I think like I said it before, man. I think Demetrious Johnson is the second greatest mixed martial artist of all time, right next to John Jones. So, I think we can learn tons from each other.
Well, would it be safe to say that Mighty Mouse Demetrious Johnson will be helping you for the return and hopefully optimistically for that fight against Volkanovski?
No, not really, man. I think it's more of an exchange with Demetrious is to help each other and learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like by the time that Volkanovski fight comes to play, it's like that's when I kind of formulate more of you know what I mean? That's when I just gotta hone in on the strategy and the tactics. And it's the same thing for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like we haven't trained together, so we don't know what it would be like yet. But I know, me kind of sharing my perspective on how I view the sport and how is it that I prepare for the sport. I think I think he learned something that I was able to share with him yesterday.
Well, welcome back to the Triple C and Schmo Show.
And I am Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
And here we are, speaking about you re-entering USADA. That's the last time the Schmo saw you. So how's been the reaction, Henry Cejudo?
It's been good, Schmo. It's been good, man. It's I almost feel like I kind of took over Instagram, dude. Like I really did, man. Like, and this last card was so good, but by the time I announced my retirement, like the majority of the talk was about me, man. You know, I felt like a 15-year-old quinceañera schmo. You know, so it was, you know, it was cool. It's a big deal because once I saw Zombie, you know, fight, once I saw the fight with Korean Zombie and Volkanovski, I knew that I there's a lot of film of Volkanovski, and you know, I feel like I could still defeat him. I really do.
I think that's what metaphorically and physically broke your crown. You saw that fight, you broke the crown physically and mentally, and you knew it was time to be humble Henry in return. So has USADA showed up to the home yet? Because they could be testing you at any time. You sign your life away, Henry. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing that I struggle with, Schmo. The only thing that I really struggle with is that, dude. Like being back in USADA and them knocking at, 3 a.m. while my daughter's sleeping. You know what I mean?
Did they come?
Oh yeah, they come. They didn't. Anyway,
Did they do
so
it?
No,
Already?
they haven't yet. They haven't yet.
Okay.
Cross them fingers, Schmo. So we'll see, man.
So what's the plan right now? And obviously, have you seen Volkanovski's media tour comments? He really doesn't feel like this is a serious threat or a serious option for him right now for the next move.
It's plain and simple. I think Volkanovski respects me, and I think part of it is fear. Now, you know what I'm saying? That if you've already gone through the division, like why wouldn't you be able to give me that opportunity or that chance? You know what I'm saying? I see it as two things. It's like, one, he sincerely feels that what he's saying, but I really don't. And the other option is he respects me so much that it's almost like a fear. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that too, if that's how he has to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm open to a lot of things, but he's the main objective, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say. If Volkanovski kind of counts me out like that, when the social media, the people actually really want to see that fight, then the Volkanovski's straight up scared.
So what's the move in terms of training? The Schmo saw you doing some pad work with the one and only Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it was cool, man. So me and Tyson, we're gonna start an instructional DVD together with dynamic striking, and it's actually Mike Tyson teaching me a lot of his combinations as you watch guys like Larry Holmes, like a lot of the knockouts that he's done. Like literally, Mike Tyson to be walking us through of what he's done, and one other than Triple C, man, to be in there, and it's legendary, man. It's a legendary moment because Mike Tyson has never done any instructional video, so it's gonna be the first time in Mike Tyson's career that he's coming up with an instructional boxing DVD based on his style of boxing.
I feel like he's just got to be a part of the comeback, right, Triple C? I mean, you have a great relationship with Uncle Mike, and Uncle Mike's teaching you his ways. I feel like there's got to be some influence, yeah?
Oh, of course, man. Tyson, Mike's always wanted me to come back. He's always wanted me to come back, but
What about in your corner?
We'll see. I think I better really win. But yeah, man, we'll see, man. But Mike loves a fight game, man. He loves the UFC, so it's definitely gonna be cool as hell, man, to have Uncle Mike. You know what I mean? You know he's gonna be blazed up through the gills, but he's gonna give us. He's gonna be there, man. I think just his presence alone, Schmo, would make it would make it that much more special.
That's why the Schmo suggested it. And with that suggestion, let's go into this week's gold medal moment. We never thought we'd get there. A lot of chitter-chatter before here. But Dana White recently on with TMZ Sports, he says what the Schmo and you were talking about weeks ago, Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic, interim UFC heavyweight title, July 2nd, International Fight Week, UFC 276. Come on, that's the fight to make. Obviously, I don't think they can do it at Raider Stadium, Allegiant Stadium, because they got wrestling going on, pro wrestling. But
yeah,
man, that's the fight to make. Triple C, how about it? Let's call it like it is. They got to do that.
But you know what, Schmo? Either way, like I love this fight for Jon. I really do, man. I love this fight for Jon just because everything that Stipe has, Jon is better at. You know, if he was fighting like a Francis Ngannou, I was a little more cautious with that one just because of pure power. And when you have somebody that has scary power like that, yeah, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a strength that kind of overwhelms whomever. You know, you got power, but Francis Ngannou power is different. But with the Stipe fight, I like it for John. I really do. I think it's gonna allow John to really work on everything, like mixed martial arts as a whole, not just sticking to one base. So at the end of the day, Schmo, I think it's easy money for John Jones.
Wow. Easy money. You see a finish.
Yeah. I think John's coming out here with a different perspective, man. Like, his perspective now is to bring back that Johnny Jones that was putting out Leona Machida, Shogun Rua. You know what I mean? When he went on that rampage of just killing the elite. It's like that spirit in him is it's like it's gonna be awoken if it is that he fights in July.
Well, the Schmo can say he's been training. He's been gaming for it. The Schmo ran into his guys over from New Mexico. They were in the corner of Bellator, Aaron Pico. He's been working. He's been sharp. He's looking big, mean, scary. But listen, to your point, he's got the wrestling. He's got the athleticism. Stipe Miocic and him both have hands. It's interesting. Stipe Miocic, the best heavyweight of all time. Some people argue Fedor. The Schmo can argue Stipe. The Schmo will argue Stipe. And already the legacy of John Bones Jones, he beats Stipe. I mean, that totally solidifies it to the people who didn't believe it in the first place.
Oh, but but anybody that doesn't believe it, man, you probably just don't like John personally. I mean, think about what he's done, man. When you get somebody like Demetrious Johnson talk about him, he'll tell you he's the GOAT. It's there's no denying, you know. There's no denying when you hear it from other GOATs. It really doesn't matter what the people say. I've always said it before. I care about what the legends think. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most respected of the fight game. Because, you know, they may not like me because of the cringe. They may not like me because I'm short. They may not like me because I'm good looking. You know what I'm saying? But when you get somebody that has been there like a legend, it changes the game, dude. So it's a step on top. It's a step on top of the stamp, Schmo.
There it is. And with that said, let's go into the silver medal moment. On Friday evening, Pitbull defeated AJ McKee, got the unanimous decision, regained the featherweight title. He now has all the records in Bellator. The face of it, this guy's got the most wins, the most title wins, you name it. Pitbull, Patricio, the Schmo caught up with both the Pitbull brothers and Captain Eric Abadassim without the glasses, Captain. And let's show the celebration to you, my man, Triple C. You missed out.
Hey! Hey! 50 Cent, where you at? Pitbull Brothers, baby! Pitbull Brothers, the baddest brothers in MMA. Triple C and the Schmo and the Captain and the Pitbull Brothers.
You gotta send that to me. But think about it, Schmo, and I want you to really think about it, man. This is the first time ever in MMA history, dude, I believe, we have two brothers, you know, that both have titles, man, which is crazy, man.
Exactly. So the Schmo wanted to put this in there. Our producer didn't want to put this in there. Where do you put the Pitbull brothers amongst the all-time siblings in MMA history, man? Where do you put them?
The greatest combat brothers of all time.
That's what I'm saying, because the Schmo was thinking about Valentina and Antonina Shevchenko. Obviously, from a popularity and legendary status, Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz. The Schmo's not going to put the Dawkins brothers there. No offense. But the Pitbull brothers both have gold.
Yeah, they do, man. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And then look at Patricky's ratio, Schmo. Look, he's the king of knockouts. Nobody has knocked out more people than Patricky Pitbull. He has a record at Bellator, and he has a belt. You know what I'm saying? I think he's beaten Benson Henderson. He's beaten a lot of good people, man, former champs. You know, so I congratulations to them, dude. They're gonna reach a mountain that people are gonna look back and say, like, hey, man, these guys were so underrated for what they've done.
So this guy's 6-0 in rematches, like 6-0. And what was the difference maker between the first and the second fight between Pitbull and McKee? And obviously, did you see McKee's reaction, thinking he won the fight? And you got Rampage Jackson also telling the Schmo it's the worst robbery he's ever seen in MMA. That's a lot of loadedness for you, Triple C, but just try to dissect all that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a close fight, but Patricia Pitbull did win those 3 rounds. I want to say it was maybe 1, 2, 3. I forget, man. I got to rewatch the fight. But at the end of the day, man, I could have the fight because it was so close. It could have swung either way. But I thought Patricio did enough with the leg kicks. As a competitor, he chewed that front leg up, and you can see it, man. You can see that AJ McKee didn't like it. He switched stats a couple times too. But I think Patricio, the key to that victory was his composure. He didn't overreact to anything that AJ McKee was doing, so he stayed composed a lot more, and that's what won him the fight, man. And the ability that he was able to defend off takedowns. You know what I'm saying? It was good. Yeah, he did get taken down, but for all the shot attempts that AJ McKee threw, I thought he did a really good job defending him.
Well, what does AJ do from here? Because he was calling out the Volkanovskis. He was calling out the Max Holloways. He was saying he's going to be in the UFC and he's going to be a UFC champion. He was 18-0. He got his first professional loss. Where does he go from here? Because he says he does not want to fight at 145 pounds again unless it's a super fight. And then where does Pitbull go from here, Triple C?
Well, I think Pitbull can choose. I think they would probably eventually want to line him up with Aaron Pico. I think that's the fight to make. And I think AJ McKee, man, I would love to see I would love to see him against Patricky Pitbull. I think the storyline's there. You know what I'm saying, Schmo? I think this is what Bellator needs. You know what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact that fight the bigger brother now. You know what I mean? I personally like it. I don't know how I don't know how everybody else feels about it. But yeah, why not? I mean,
why not?
It was a close fight. I think both brothers could beat him up.
Well, let's have him have the opportunity. That's a really good solution, Triple C. I like that. That's not a bad idea whatsoever. We should have that fight happen. And Aaron Pico, what's interesting about him is he's been with Bellator since he's 17. Such a highly touted prospect. When he's training in California, he got tagged a little bit. He went out to Jackson Wink, went out to New Mexico. He's been undefeated since, and he's been rising as a prospect and as a contender at 145 pounds and likely a future gold holder in Bellator. With that said, let's go to the bronze medal moment because more gold would be Errol Spence Jr. stopping your Dennis Ugas 10th round. He shattered the orbital, the eye. Terence Crawford, undisputed at 147. Missing just the one belt. He's missing our guy Terence Bud Crawford's WBO. Because now we got the WBA. Now he's got the green belt WBC. And he's got the red belt in the IBF.
IBF, yeah. Well, the most important bout is the one that, well, I guess he does technically, but not really, man. I think everybody has Terence Crawford up there. As in my eyes, I still think he's pound for pound. Just for the simple fact that he hasn't lost.
Canelo.
Over Canelo, man. You know, this is...
So now that's the fight that's got to be made. They both want it. And Bud Crawford, he's no longer a top rank. You got Floyd Money Mayweather saying he wants to sign him. Now you got Crawford calling him out. Now's the time.
Yeah, now's the time, man. And I think boxing needs this. And this is horrible. Sometimes I don't even want to see those dudes fight. After it takes so long, like that Mayweather Pacquiao, after it took so long, like I never wanted to see it again. Because
but now they're in their prime. Now's the perfect timing. Yes, you're right. They wait till 2015, mid-30s. Now, Errol Spence, perfect age. He's born a few days older than the Schmo, so what does that make him, 32 years old? I mean, now's the time with Bud Crawford. They're in their prime.
Yeah, well, they got to, man. But they got to do it for the sport, man, because think about how much MMA has swallowed boxing, Schmo.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Bless you, Triple C. What is it, the pollen, man? Allergy season in Arizona?
Yeah, man. I was about to make a cringe moment.
Oh, well, I know you got to go at least one episode without it. Maybe more. We'll see. But also this upcoming weekend, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, who can make himself an argument for up there for pound, he is fighting at Wembley Stadium. Was that going to be 90,000 plus against Dillian White? What do you make of this? And is this Tyson Fury's last boxing match? The Schmo has his theory.
No. Tyson Fury, he's no Khabib. Like Khabib says he beats. Tyson Fury, he's a businessman. You know, he's a businessman. I think he's dude, if I was a heavyweight, I don't have to cut weight. I got all the, well, he probably does actually have to cut weight because he's a big heavyweight. Man, it's exciting, man. It's exciting because in boxing, man, when you become the heavyweight champion of the world, you're like pound for pound, typically. You know, that's how people kind of tend to see you. Unless it's changed a lot with the 147 pounds or 54, you know. So, but anyways, I don't think so, man. I think he'll end up fighting Francis Ngannou within the next year.
Damn right. That is definitely going to happen. The Schmo agrees with you. There's going to be too much money involved. Too many people want to see it. It's going to happen. It might be his last, like, real hands-on defending the belts, take seriously, like boxing, cream of the crop without, like, an exhibition fight. Maybe. Who knows? Until he gets to the Francis Ngannou's, the celebrity-like fights. But I agree. It's not going to be the last time we see the Gypsy King. That's exactly right, Triple C. And now let's bring it to this week's top Schmoment. It's got to go to Belal, remember the name, Muhammad. He defeated Vicente Luque. It's a rematch. You got to hand it to the guy. He was knocked out by this guy. He had thought about it for a lot of time. He's been on a run since. Luque's been on a run, both in their primes. He takes him down, fights his fight, takes the decision. He calls out Colby Covington. Great fight. Oh, by the way, he also was not eating during the day. He was absorbing Ramadan, and he would only eat at sundown. And apologize to the Schmo butchered that name, but we're trying to say it fast in the Schmo-like way. Ramadan. And Belal, the Schmo remembers your name, Muhammad. Colby Covington would be a great fight. Obviously, there's Hamzat. And then maybe be a backup fighter for Leon Edwards in Usman title fight if that eventually gets booked.
Yeah, man, there's so many options. There's so many options at the welterweight division. Like, it's almost like we got to get Kamaru Usman healthy. That way this kind of division kind of unfold. That way more people could fight each other. Because you could easily see 2 years pass by and nobody fight each other, you know. But I would like to see him against Gilbert Burns. That's who I would like to see Belal Muhammad fight.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you're able to beat Gilbert Burns, then maybe you're one away. Whether then you get the loser of Kobe and Chimaev.
Well, the Schmo initially thought about that because of the relationship also with Gilbert Burns and Luque. They never fight each other. They're right next to each other in rankings. It's just Muhammad coming off a win, Burns coming off the loss. You know how they typically don't like to do that, but in this situation, it does make sense. You could make an argument, especially if Kobe does fight Hamzat. That's when it leaves the option open. Because he's not going to fight Wonder Boy. He already fought Wonder Boy. I mean, there's just... And Luque lost to Wonder Boy. They fought pretty recently within the past couple of years. I mean, very interesting stuff. All right, Triple C. Now it's the long-awaited return of the Cringe Corner. Who's making it in this week?
Yeah, can I get a drum roll? Can I get your famous drum roll, Schmo? That's more like the motorboat, but okay. But this week's Cringe Corner, I'm going to have to get to none other than Jake Paul, man. I mean, the dude's going after Michael Bisping, dude. You know what I'm saying? But I thought about it, Schmo, so I am giving him the title of this week, the Cringe Corner, but I actually like his idea. I think that fight with Bisping, I think Bisping would want to come out of retirement and box him. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great idea. I think Bisping's a bigger guy, a heftier guy. I mean, I like the idea, Schmo, to say the least. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Well, the Schmo couldn't freaking disagree anymore. The guy's got 2 fake knees. The guy's got no eye. The guy's 43 years old. He's retired. He never even really boxed. Did he have a professional boxing fight ever? No, he's a mixed martial artist. Yes, a middleweight champion. At least it's someone his size. But age-wise, competitive-wise, who's going to sanction the fight? The cat's out of the bag. What athletic commission is going to say, yes, we'll sanction the fight, even though the guy's got 1 eye? It's never going to happen. It's like, why is he trying to bully the wrong type of guy? Why not Anderson Silva if you want to stick to retired guys from the UFC or people not in the UFC, former UFC legends.
No, I like the idea, Schmo. I swear to you. And sometimes when you do, you never know. Like you get accustomed to if you're able to expand your visual with one. Anyways, Bisping was able to do a lot of things with having one eye, and I think Bisping can go in there and kind of give his little boy a spanking.
Sure, okay, fine. If you want to say if Bisping can make it competitive, 100% he can. No one's doubting that. But what the Schmo's saying is, you're talking about a guy who's saying one day he's going to be a world title boxing holder, a guy who's going to be a championship level boxer. Then why aren't you fighting boxers? Why aren't you fighting guys who will expedite the process? Michael Bisping at 43 and retired with one eye and two new knees, is not that guy.
I really don't care, Schmo. I'm just
right.
looking out for I'm looking out for the payday for Michael Bisping. It's a good payday, man, to fight somebody, whether you win or you lose. Like
Schmo won't argue that. Amen.
You can make several money. You can make.
Yeah, of course. But what about the Twitter back and forth you and Bisping were having, man?
Well, Bisping decided to say that I'm too small, that I'm brittle, and I just sent him a message. I said, "Listen, Bisping," and I said it was pretty funny because I sent a picture of him and GSP, and it shows that the fact that he was taller than GSP. You know, I mean, Bisping, you got to remember too, man, I'm a competitor, and GSP was able to pull out the victory with you, and you know, what makes you think Triple C, the greatest combat actor of all time, can't pull it through? So, you know, Bisping, don't be throwing rocks from glass houses, man.
Yeah. And, well, the Schmo loves talking to both Bisping and you, Triple C, both legends of the sport, Hall of Famers. He is right now. You will be one day. And speaking of Hall of Fame worthies and stuff like that, brothers-wise, the Schmo did not talk about the Pettis brothers. Sergio Pettis, a champion in Bellator. And obviously, you got Anthony Pettis, the lightweight champion in the UFC. Didn't happen at the same time.
Yeah,
the Nogueiras as well. The Schmo's not going to forget about the Brazilians. Other fellow Brazilians, but the Pitbull brothers.
There's been a lot, but on top of everybody that we just mentioned, all these brothers, even the Diaz brothers, these two guys are the greatest brother combination in probably in MMA history. They both have titles. They both literally have gold around their shoulders, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a trip to really think about it. I think they deserve that credit, man. These people, what they're doing in Natal, Brazil, man, in northeastern Brazil is crazy, man. It's second to none, Schmo. I would do training camps down there. These dudes train to the core, man. You know, and they're giving attention to everything. You know, you typically go to Brazil, nobody does wrestling. Down there, dude, these people are wrestling, man. You know, think about how many shots Patricio stuffed with AJ McKee.
Well said, Triple C. Make sure you subscribe, download wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in every single week. What's your name?
My name is Triple C to the D-O-double-G.
Snoop Dogg. I am the Schmo, and we are out.
Out.